You got like linemen that are your big uglies clogging up the middle.
Yeah, 300 plus pounds.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Right, and then you got like the smallest, like Devontae Smith, right? Like small, skinny guy that was like lightning quick though.
For NFL fans out there, one of my favorite pictures is Rodrigo Blankenship next to DJ Metcalf.
Yeah, Blankenship's just like a freaking nerd, and DK Metcalf is like a bodybuilder.
Superhuman, yeah. It's one of my favorite pictures.
How can those two guys be in the same sport, right?
I'm Nick Clooney, and you're listening to the Hey Brother podcast. Join me and my brother Mitch as we challenge each other and other Catholic men to grow deeper in brotherhood, strengthen our faith, and find greater freedom. Hit the subscribe button and join us on this journey.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Hey Brother Podcast. Today we're in a new studio with our friend William Weller. He is a good man, and he graciously lent us some space to create this studio. It's a work in progress, as you can see. An episode we just got done recording, we had some backdrop issues and stuff falling down, but he's a huge football fan, and so kind of an homage to the new studio and to him, we're going to talk about football today.
Yeah, also an homage to the most beautiful time of the year, football season.
I think there's something, because we've been talking about this like in the last couple of weeks about like what are some things that make us passionate in life, and football is one of those things. And I was wondering like how that ties into sainthood just a little bit. And one of the things that I was thinking about was St. John Paul II. When he was Pope, it was documented that multiple times he snuck out of the Vatican to go skiing.
Yeah.
Because he was just so passionate about skiing and he loved it. And as a Pope, you're not really like, you don't really have time to go skiing.
Yeah, right.
And so he'd find time, make trips to go skiing because there's something he's passionate about. He's also passionate about plays and theater, and like he used both those things to like live life like well. Like even like the passion with skiing and like outdoors and adventure, like he took that into his priestly ministry and like made that a part of his like ministry to families. Like, hey, let's go hiking, let's go canoeing, like let's go do these things, and it just made him very approachable as a priest, but also like real. It's like an experience of like, okay, who is this guy?
Yeah. I'm also just thinking about like Pope Leo right now because like the fourth picture of him ever taken was like him wearing a White Sox hat. And then like the viral picture of him at the White Sox World Series in like 2005 or whatever.
Yeah. It's good to be passionate about things.
Yeah,
like,
right.
The Lord created us in a way that like is unique and unrepeatable.
And St. Augustine too, right? Like I think one of my favorite quotes from him is that what is it? It's better to be lost in one's passions than for one to lose their passion. And I love that quote. It's just like,
yeah.
No. It's so someone lost in their passions is less lost than one who has lost their passion.
Yeah.
In life. And it's just like if you don't care about anything, I don't mean to like.
Jesus says it too. If you're lukewarm, it's better to be hot or cold than not lukewarm, right? Like lukewarm, I'll spit you out. Yeah,
right. I'm just because like Augustine's a fantastic like example of that too, right? Because he was quite the scoundrel back in the day, living his life of debauchery and like literally had a concubine and whatnot. But then I remember on his feast day when I was in college, the priest was like preaching. He's just like, he just reminds us because like if Augustine was at Ohio State University right now, he wouldn't be sitting here on a mass on Tuesday, like Tuesday afternoon. He would be at the frat party later tonight, like, and like what he's saying about his passions is that like, it's just like if you don't have that fervor and that drive to like do something, like it's a lot harder to build that. Like if you want to live like a life for the Lord, right? It's hard to build fervor from nothing.
Yeah.
But if you have fervor, but in the opposite direction, it's a lot easier to like steer that into the correct way. Like it's just like if you think like a big ball of like momentum, if it's like just sitting there, it's hard to push it to get going the way you want it to go.
Yeah.
But if it's rolling the complete opposite direction, you can like build like a little guardrail to like kind of do a little U-turn and send it to the right direction.
Yeah, and why is that? Because like the Lord wants us to live a full life. Like He doesn't want us to live a checked out, passive, quiet, like boring life. And I think that's what people think of when they think of the Christian faith. A lot of times, it's like, or at least the Catholic faith, it's like I gotta go follow my rules and like have no fun. It's like no, like God actually wants you to have a fully engaged life. And so, like, I love that ball analogy. Like it is inertia, like to a certain degree. But like, Augustine was living life. There's a lot of things that he wasn't enjoying in life, and some things were morally wrong. And like, we need to look out for that because there's things.
Many things.
There's a lot of things in our life that we look at.
He was like one of the worst heathens, but then he became probably the most literal, like, foundational part of the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
Save for Jesus alone, right?
But it's like it was subtle things that like made what he was doing wrong. Like temperance being one of those things. Like it's good to have a good bourbon, right? We both love Four Roses small batch.
Very good.
Not super cheap, but still pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But tastes good. But like to drink too much of it like would be temperance, and like Augustine struggled with that. And then also with like even like sex. So like he had a concubine, right? There's something really good about sex. We should want to have sex. Like it's a good desire. But like if you're going around sleeping with somebody who's not your wife and you're just doing it because of selfish reasons, like that's problematic. But the point being is like he's chasing something very good. And that brings us back to why are we talking about passions? We're talking about like football. We're talking about something that's good. We're chasing after something that football itself, like I don't know how we fit that into like a good, like it's a sport. It's something that gives us like I think maybe is like the ultimate good in which football points to. Like there's something really beautiful about entering into play before the Lord and leisure in that way.
And I also like the good thing about football is like it takes 11 uniquely gifted people.
Yeah. To come together.
It's like the ultimate. It's not more than 11, way more than 11, but
even more so than like trying to find the good, because I think I can get distracted with that. But like just being passionate about something gives us an en route to like being more who we're supposed to be. Like John Paul II was supposed to be the great saint that he was, and he skied. Like he didn't give that up. Like it's something he did, and then he became old, and he's like, I can't do this anymore. Like he was one of the youngest popes elected. And then like was able to ski for a few years, but got old, but he was passionate about that.
Yeah, right.
And it's like it doesn't. We can be passionate about football and still be great saints.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ohio State, like from last year, that like has like you could write a documentary on it. Like, granted, I mean, I'm biased here, I'm a big Ohio State fan, but like. I do think like the Lord used the Ohio State football team and winning a national championship to like greater his glory, because they were, if you know, like when the teams run out of the tunnel and then like some players will go like kneel on a yard line and like say a prayer before the game.
Right.
Most of the times it's like, what percentage of the team does that? Like a third of the team maybe. Ohio State's football team during that championship run. There was like maybe 10 guys on the team that didn't do it.
Wow, yeah.
Like there were 80 guys that would all line up across like the first 40 yards and like say like a pretty profound prayer. And then even before the season started, there were 3 guys. Can't remember. It was G. Scott, Travion Henderson, and I forget the third guy, but they led an on-campus like baptism.
Wow.
like
bringing people into the
they would literally lined up on the oval and would just invite the whole campus out to get baptized that night.
Wow.
And like we're baptizing people, and their faith, not one player on that team, that's a stretch, but even like in all like the post-game interviews, any interview throughout the week, 90% of them open their interview with, I want to praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like there would like Jesus was like a main theme of that team.
Yeah. And
like I don't think that like like I just tying it all back together, it shows you like that football can be used in a way that like that brings the Lord, right? Like we're using the passion of football to like bring the glory of God.
Yeah, and I think football is unique in that way too, where like a lot of players tend to give glory to God, like to some degree. Like I think there is some subtle Christian undertones in the football culture, which is interesting to me as a sport. Like, it's different because like even so, like, I mean, we come from a very Catholic background, but like never blink twice about like praying before a game, right?
Yeah.
Like even to this day, I don't think people would be offended by that.
No.
And like, why does that survive like the cancel culture? I'm like, or like not even the cancel culture, but like, the sensitivity, oversensitivity culture. There's something that's resilient in football and Christianity and its connection that, the Buckeyes lived out well. But I even think like to like even remove any sort of explicit connection between a passion and becoming a great saint, like skiing and John Paul II, like is the example I'll give, and the parallel I'll give is like really, like I don't think like God used skiing to bring souls.
It's the 11th commandment, though. Thou shalt be a good skier.
I haven't skied. I need to ski sometime.
Okay.
I've heard it's quite fun, but the most times I've had opportunity to do it was in high school. I was too injury prone to like say yes to skiing.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I had fun skiing, and then I gained like 40 pounds, and then I'm like, you know what? Stopping's a lot harder than what it used to be.
Really got to turn the skis on the sides.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think John Paul II was actively going to the slopes and being like, who can I convert here?
No.
Right? Like, who can I baptize here?
The only person he's converting are the snowboarders.
Yeah, right.
Get rid of that. Get some skis on those feet.
Yeah. And the reason I say that, and I don't think it's wrong to explicitly tie in a passion that you're looking at, like, and make it something that can be used to evangelize. That's great. If that's what the Lord calls you to, awesome. But like, I think you can just be really passionate about something, and like that be okay, because like the Lord created you as that individual.
Yeah.
And like live in that passion. Don't make it your God. Don't do it with excess and like a lack of temperance. But like, if that's a part of something that you enjoy, that the Lord's like co-created with other people, other humans, which there's definitely some divine providence in the way that football is created. It's a wacky sport. But like,
yeah,
like awesome. Like we should be passionate. And I think I like shared that in I kind of like an offhanded way, like at a group meeting we were a part of, and didn't really like express like fully what my thoughts were on that. But like, it's just interesting to me like how God's created each of us with different passions that we can like lean into. So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to articulate if I'm missing on that, but
no, I just kind of think about it like if you got to like be passionate about something, or else you won't be passionate about anything.
Yeah, it's almost a training ground of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm ever going to be remotely passionate about my faith with the Lord, right? Like I need to learn what passion is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And football is very good at that. and, like you can get passionate about football very, like for men particularly, like in our hometown, right? Like it's a very easy thing to get passionate about.
Right.
It like draws you in, like the hoorah like mentality of it, and
right. And it's just, and I mean, like there's just moments in football where like it's like a 4th and 1, and you line up and everyone knows what's going to happen, right? We're going to run the ball right up the middle of the field. Like, and it's just like that mentality of like, this only works is if we beat you, right? Like we got to be better than you in this one moment.
Yeah. And we were better than
and
then Benton in that
one moment. 4 times in a row. Yeah. Right. And, exactly. And like, yeah, there's definitely something super masculine about that. And but like even more of like what I was saying about like it takes like all kinds of body types, right? You got like linemen that are your big uglies clogging up the middle.
Yeah, 300 plus pounds.
Yeah,
in the NFL.
Right, and then you got like the smallest, like Devontae Smith, right? Like he's like
tiny guy,
170 pounds, I think was his like combine weight going into the league.
5'11", maybe.
I don't know.
5'10".
Yeah, which is like like pretty like tall for someone of that weight, right?
Right. Yeah.
but just like like small skinny guy that was like lightning quick though. But and then you got like kickers and whatnot and specialists that like.
For NFL fans out there, one of my favorite pictures is Rodrigo Blankenship next to DJ Metcalf. Have you seen that picture?
No, but yeah, Blankenship's just like a freaking nerd, and DK Metcalf is like a bodybuilder.
Superhuman, yeah. It's one of my favorite pictures. I'll have to show you later. It's
right, and it's like, how can those two guys be in the same sport, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at basketball, everyone's tall.
Yeah.
You look at swimming, everyone's long. Like,
yeah, even like tennis and golf, like there's a particular body type.
Yeah, right.
Dad bod for golf, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, football, it does like
All shapes and sizes.
Yeah, and then it's also like unique in the fact that every play, there's like so much going on. Like it's nuts.
That's really what like got me so excited about football this year. Is I had some like downtime at work, not downtime, but like monotonous activity, and I listened to like 3 or 4 hours worth of X's and O's, and I was like almost tearing up because I'm like, man, I just love football. Like, I love learning about football. I love knowing the things that not many people know about football, and like I know like just like being able to look at a play, like I one thing like when I watch games, especially in person, is like I will miss the quarterback getting sacked on almost every time a sack happens, because when I'm watching it, I'm not watching like how normal people watch, where they're like, oh, the quarterback is the ball. Where's that going? I'm watching down the field and looking at where the play's developing, and then like I'll see like a wide open receiver, and then two things will happen, and I'm like, oh boy, we're about to score a touchdown, and I start getting excited, and then the ball comes and he catches it and they score a touchdown, and I'm like already cheering before the rest of the crowd reacts. Yeah. Or I'm like, where's the ball at? And then I look back and the quarterback's on the ground. And I'm like, and so like the whole stands are like, like reacting to the sack, and I'm like, what's going on? I missed it.
Yeah.
But
there's different depths and levels you can watch football at too, right? Like even so, like most people are watching where the action is, right? Where is the ball? That's like, if you're a football fan, like that's usually what you're watching, is where the ball is. If you're somebody who's learning football, you're like, I don't even know where to watch, right? It's almost like my experience of watching hockey, right? It's like, where the hell the puck is. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And if you're in that boat, then you just look at the people that are like colliding, right? So you're probably watching the linemen.
Yeah, right. I don't get it. Yeah.
I just see 5 guys fighting in the middle of the field.
That's all I see. But then there's like the depths where you like you can if you're not looking at the ball, then you're seeing the coverages, you're seeing the routes that are being ran. You're seeing Lou Anaruno, the Colts' new defensive coordinator. Like, he's running some wacky stuff. So he's got what looks like a blitz, a cover zero. So like 5 guys drop deep that are covering all 5 of the receivers that are available, and then everyone else lined up straight across the line.
Yeah.
And he's like, guess what I'm running? Like, it's like, give it your best guess. And he does that like on 3rd and 10s and stuff like that, where it's
that's not super new. I mean, like, that's kind of like the Dolphins.
The prowl is like what that was initially, right? Like,
no, I mean, even recently, like I think it was like 2023, the Dolphins, they beat the Bills because they lined up in that double A gap pressure front. Yeah. Like they literally ran it 36 plays in a row on defense.
Yeah.
And the Bills didn't have a response to it.
I guess the Lou doing it differently is like he's bringing his safeties up and like putting them on the line as well. Like,
it's like 6 different guys.
Yeah, like it's literally like a blitz zero. Like we don't have a deep safety. We just have four like a corner and a couple linebackers drop deep. And it's like, what is going on? Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's the simulated pressures are what they're kind of taking over right now, where you show where you're blitzing, and then the offense has to respond to that and like block how you're showing. Okay. And then like one side, half the guys bail to underneath coverage.
Yeah.
So you can put like a solid pass protection in, or a pass defense in. Mm-hmm. But they're already guarded, like they're already blocking as if you came in with 6.
Yeah.
So like you have 3 guys on the left side of the field that aren't doing anything because they've got the guys they thought were blitzing are now playing the underneath zones.
Yeah.
And now you still get that 4-on-3 on one side, and they have to recover from there.
Yeah.
And then so like normally it would be like just a quick check down like over that, but now you got the underneath guys that are just hanging out there.
I've got flashbacks to playing Gets Married because that's like what they were doing, simulated
Yeah,
pressures
right.
the whole time, but on a high school level.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that, and then our response to that, I was our right guard, and they would always, if you go empty, they would always come 4 off the left.
Mm-hmm.
And on our empty sets, I literally just pulled in a pass protection.
Just ramped to the side that needed help.
Yeah, it was because they always came with 4 or 5.
Do you think that's still like
or 5 or
an
6?
automatic read for them still?
No. I don't know that. I mean, I was pretty high IQ for
high schooler, yeah.
for high school offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So like the check was easy to me because it's just like, all right, like they had a 3-man front, no one lined up in front of me. So I'm like, all right, inside backer to outside backer. Because if inside backer's coming, then you follow him. And if he like crosses the nose, I take the nose and the center takes the inside backer. If he comes right at me, I take him. If he goes to the outside, it's an out route or an out call. Mm-hmm. And I take the end and then pass it. So, but if he doesn't come, now I check the outside backer. Mm-hmm. And if he's coming, now I got the end out call. And so if I inside backer not coming, outside backer not coming, they're still sending 5, which means it's somewhere on the other side of the field.
Yeah, so you just
I just turned and ran.
Yeah. Go get the guy.
Yeah, right. It's just like, and because they had us beat 4-3 on the left side, and the only way to get that number advantage back is
run over there.
Just run over, and I don't. Yeah.
So going back to where we started is it's like there's levels that you can watch football in, and I think I would say probably 60% of fans are probably watching where the ball's at. And it's really enjoyable to watch that.
Oh, yeah, right.
But then there's also, like, a whole level of, like, watching. I would say, like, even, like, understanding then more of the nuance, too, is, like, another part of it, too, where you can understand, okay, that guy just got beat really hard. Like, why did he get beat really hard?
Yeah.
It's like, well, the corner just flipped his hips and, like, totally, like, baffled the, like, he did not play good coverage at all. Like, you could see that if you know what you're looking for. You can also just be like, wow, he's just better than him. And, like, it's like, okay, there's certain levels of, like, watching that we're experiencing football. And
if you like it, like you look at the offensive lineman, and if you're looking at the lineman and the only thing you see are their shoes, like that's kind of how I watch linemen now. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about how they're moving their feet and like whether they're going to beat their block or not. Except for sometimes when they just like, are just bigger and better than the other guy, but
it's fun to watch that when they
right,
freaking pancake somebody. It's just like, or like I was watching Quentin Nelson today because we're recording here on a Sunday, and he's the Colts star guard, and dude plays with such a fire. Like there was like a screen that happened, and I think he was a guard on like he wasn't one of the guards that was coming out to block. He was like on the backside of the play. But then he just sprinted and like took out the safety. I'm like, the dude's playing with some fire. Like,
yeah, right.
But
I just saw a highlight from Ohio State Texas game where Luke Montgomery was the left guard and they ran inside zone. And one of the concepts of zone is that there's a unison step to the right or to the play side.
Yeah.
And then you zone block and all of the offensive linemen try to take care of the defensive linemen first and then climb to the second level. And so the nose tackle over the center went to the right, to the play side too. So the left guard and the center are like responsible for that center or the nose guard and then the linebacker behind him. And Luke just sat the center was engaged with the nose tackle. He just like got right into the nose guard's ribs, sat him down, and then climbs to the neck to the linebacker. Yeah, and it was just like such a good rep.
yeah.
And it's just like one of those things that like I don't know. If you see that like this is a zone read, like a zone blocking scheme, that's how it's supposed to work, and it's this highlight film right there. Yeah.
Which most people aren't seeing like a highlight film for linemen, but it's fun to watch football at that level. It's one of the things that makes football so enjoyable is that like there is so many levels and like things going on that you can see and perceive. And it's evolving too. I think baseball just started to evolve a little bit, but for a long time, baseball was like pretty stagnant. It was like
baseball was solved in like before they did the
solved.
Yeah, like like there was one best strategy and whatnot.
Yeah, and then it just came down to like, are you better or not? Right.
Yeah.
And like what got better in baseball was just people's talents, right? People got faster, stronger, threw harder, right? Like
I mean solved because of, like they banned like the shift in Major League Baseball because
oh wow.
when
did they do that?
When the pitch clock came around
okay.
too and whatnot.
Gotcha.
And they banned it because they solved it because they would literally just get a scouting report on all like the hitters and where they hit the ball every time, and then they would just line up all of the defense exactly where they hit the ball every time,
and then you're good to go.
Yeah, for every batter. Like before that, you know, you would like shift. You know, like if we play softball, right? If there's a lefty, you kind of shift to where lefties like to hit it, and for righties, you know, like your standard positioning,
right?
And then. But for like baseball, it's just like you don't like look if they're lefty or righty. It's just like, oh, this specific guy is like up to bat. We're gonna stand like in these exact spots.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah,
and like it can be very analytic driven baseball, like in that regard.
Yeah, right.
They pushed it with the banning or putting this pitch clock on there, but like it had to be a very intentional thing to do, where football feels like it's constantly evolving.
Yeah, right.
Right, like there's no real like status quo like ever. Like for a year, like the zone read will get popular, right? Like and like different strategies will come on and they'll get popular, but it feels like there's always some sort of tweak being...
Well, right. And that's, I think that's more of like an NFL thing too.
For their product. Or that's like where you could look at it as like a product thing, but you could also look at it as like, I just feel like football is like there's such a chess match.
Right. I think our biggest difference in football is that you're a big NFL fan, I'm a big college football fan, and this is my criticism of the NFL is that like there'll be metas like in football, and this whole cover zero is like a meta that's been being established, and which is fine, but like everyone does the same thing, and so like everyone's kind of adopting that six man double leg up front.
Yeah.
Not necessarily double leg up, but like they line up six across the line, and one of the reasons why it works well is because it's hard to run zone runs against that.
Yeah.
And the reason why that matters is because the meta before that was
zone read.
Zone runs with like Todd Gurley at the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
They ran outside
Rams, but
Yeah, that's what I meant. LA. At the Rams. They run outside zone on like 30% of their snaps.
It's a pretty good tell.
Yeah, right. And so they just, like had something that worked almost every time. Yeah. And then now that 6-man front is causing like stopping that from a run perspective, but also that we talked about the challenges it presents to the pass perspective.
Yeah.
And now that's going on. So like that's why we see that a lot. And then this is why it evolves, is because now there's going to be an offensive coordinator out there that gets creative and finds a way to beat that.
Right.
And then whoever does that, everyone else is going to start doing that.
Copycat league.
Exactly. And now they're all going to take over whatever that strategy is. And now that 6-man double A gap pressure is going to get abandoned to stop the thing that stopped the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about, like, the NFL can get a little, like, meta and copycatish, but, like, the good offensive coordinators are always cooking, like, something. Yeah. Like, Shane Steichen came out today with a 41 set, like, 3 times. And I'm like, who comes out with a 41 set in the NFL? Like,
yeah, right.
Like, they don't do that. And, like, he was running.
Well, I mean, honestly, that's how you would beat something like that. Because if you have all that pressure up the middle and in the center of the field, if you throw, like, a bubble pass where
the right side,
everyone blocks the guy in front of them, and then you have a guy that's faster than the guy guarding him, and then now it's off to the races.
Literally just hit a curl with like the third receiver over.
Yeah.
Like because like they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. But I like the college football better because I think it is a little more. The rules allow for more creativity as well.
Yeah. It's also a wider field.
It's a wider field, which they're trying to push away from that and get like NFL hashes in college, which I would think would be a big mistake.
I think there's been a trend for like college to become more like NFL, and I think them as separate products.
Yeah, dude, I hate. They were changing a lot of the timing rules towards it too, and I just think the get it to a first down and having the clock stop is like an iconic part of college football.
Yeah.
Whereas NFL, it's not that way.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the few things that delineates the two. But also like with the wider hashes, like I guess like if they narrow them down, one of the NFL rules that I don't like is that your outside guys on the line have to have eligible numbers and be eligible receivers, whereas in college you can leave your left tackle as the outside guy on the line,
and you have some really offset formations.
And you can have offset formations that are a little more unexpected. But part of the reason for that is because you could be on the left hash, right, and be like a third of the way to the left of the field, and need to just have more players on one side of the field or the other.
That makes sense, yeah.
But if you bring them in, then it would be
less of that need, yeah.
Yeah, a little more up that way. But anyhow, I think specifically like that example is one of the things that you can do more creative things in with college football, and that creativity allows for the talent disparity to not matter as much. Because you can like out scheme the other team and like outwill the other team in certain senses.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves to see the Army running the triple option and like winning the game just because they're grittier, right? Like they're not bigger, they're not faster, they're not stronger than the other team.
Yeah.
But they can just attack them in a way that highlights their advantages.
And grinds it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
College football is also an older.
It's the first form of football.
Yeah, because it goes back into the 1800s, right? Like,
yep, 18. I don't know. I used to know the date, but it was Rutgers versus Princeton. I think that was the first game of football.
There's some really cool like history videos on football.
1864 or something crazy.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Yeah,
it's like almost 200 years old.
And it might not be 64. It might be 74. But it's right around the Civil War.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
There's some good history videos out there on like football and professional, like the rise of the professional football league, where people are like, "What do you mean playing professional football? This is just a college sport. Like this is so dumb." Like, and now like you fast forward to 2025 and the NFL is like a multi-billion-dollar product. Like, and it's global too. Like we had a priest in from Italy. And I was bringing him to Dayton from the airport, and he was going on and on about NFL football. And I'm like, "Do you like European football?" He's like, I did when I was younger, but like this stuff over here in America that's the good stuff."
That's funny.
He's a Bills fan too. I'm like, "But you live in Colorado." He's like, "Yeah, I don't know." So, yeah, but it is interesting, like how it's evolved from college football was the start of it, and then you got a lot of Ivy League like when you look at national championship like numbers, like the Ivy League has like is probably like the most, right? Like because of how old
right. Football started 1860s, 1870s, 1880s, or like that, and then we have not many schools have it, and you have all these championships, legends, and Ivy League winning the championships and doing well, and then you go until 1920 before the forward pass is invented, which is like hilarious to think about, right? Because now like NFL and college is all about like passing the ball down the field, right? Like that's such a big part of the game, but like a lot of this history of football is you weren't even allowed to do that.
Yeah, which I think speaks to like the evolutionary factor of football. Like it's a different sport.
Yeah.
Like from where it started to where it is. And every sport probably goes through some of that to some degree, but like football just feels like even like from 20 years ago, like you look at like football, like it just feels
Not even 20, like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, it just feels different. Like when you start to watch it, and it's like, what is going on? I'm wondering if the Taysom Hill of evolution in football was an experiment that worked well and like is just gonna die, or if that'll ever catch on and like there'll be a true like H-back do it all, like NFL.
Does he still have a job?
He's still on the Saints. He's still listed as tight end for the Saints.
Okay.
But
I didn't know that.
Like that was always an interesting little wrinkle that the Saints put in there.
But I mean, there's multiple teams that have like a special teams specialist. Like the Colts had one at least last year or 2 years ago, where like they literally are on the team just to be good at special teams.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like on every specials, all the specials.
Yeah.
And like that's like, I think this guy that I'm thinking of, he's like was technically listed as like the fourth string safety, or something.
Grant Stewart filled that role, but he's also a linebacker. But
yeah.
Right,
but like he wasn't there to like play defense. He was there to be on the special teams.
Here's a hot take: with the NFL's new kickoff rules, I think we might be seeing an evolution away from punters.
Away from punters?
Yeah, the Colts have had a historic start, and they haven't punted too much this year. But I think the kickoff rules changed field position quite a bit this year in the NFL.
Yeah,
and they also introduced new kicking balls, which Pat McAfee like threw out there. Like he's like, I think this is a 5-10 yard difference for most kickers. So I think we're going to see a record low on punts this year for the NFL. And I think we're going to see maybe potentially a shift from punters being an active roster spot into more of a special teams, like backup kicker, do it all, like just a really like an athlete that can like go out there and punt it if you really need to punt it. But if
because like I mean like Pat McAfee's a good example. He was a punter, but like also was like probably his more important job was kickoffs.
Right.
And so you're kind of gonna do the opposite approach where like you're gonna hire a kickoffer.
Right.
And then he also punts.
Right, because if you have somebody who can do some really good kickoffs, like with the new kickoff rules, I don't know how much you've looked into those or not, but like a touchback right now goes to 35.
35.
Yeah, but if you hit it in the landing zone first,
it skips into the end zone, then it's a 20, right?
The 20, traditional touchback.
Yeah.
And which is 15 yards of field position. And
was that this year where the dude let the ball hit the landing zone and then like it rolled into like 9 yards deep in the end zone? What a dumbass.
It's like you're an NFL player. You make millions of dollars. You should probably know the rules.
Yeah, right? Couch potato over here knows the rules.
Yeah, exactly. But like I think the reason I think punting is like going extinct is more so because of the kicking ball change. And maybe they'll go back to the way they were doing the kicking balls, but like they can bring their own like broken in kicking balls, which a lot of people don't even know. I was talking to my wife about this. Like, what do you mean a kicking ball? I'm like, yeah, they use different kicking balls because you warp it, you wear it in differently when you kick it than when you're throwing it. And they can bring their own now, where they had to wear them in every game, new kicking balls, and so like what you're seeing is like people lining up for 64-yard kicks,
right?
And like when the field position is starting at 35, right? You just need 15 yards. And you can send your kicker out there. Like,
it's also there's a more aggressive attitude, I think, right now
for points. Like,
yeah, right. Because like I still think, like my philosophy always, like I would much rather have if you had to like make me choose between a kicker or a punter, I'd take a punter every day.
Yeah,
because like that's like an interesting thing. Football is about quitting. like you. Football, you quit a lot. Like on your drive, you get to fourth down and you quit and you give the other team the ball.
Yeah.
Almost every drive ends with you quitting.
Instead of scoring.
Yeah. And so like part of that is like playing the field position. So like I would rather be able to punt and flip the field position every time than attempt a long field goal. Because then if you miss it, you're giving up terrible field position.
Right.
And like so, like if you miss like a 64-yarder, that means the other team's starting in field goal range.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is nuts, right?
yeah. So like to me, I would still value punting that ball away and getting it to the because like if you think about it, like if you play it out, if I punt from that instead of go for the field goal, we could get them down within their own 10, own 5-yard line.
Yeah.
And scoring from there is very hard to do. And maybe they get a first down and then they punt the ball away. Now they're punting from the 20 and I get another chance to starting at the like 30, 40-yard line again to like go in.
Yeah.
And I could get a touchdown the next time instead of settling for 3 points.
See, what I would want, and I'm always like more in the, less than 3 punters in there kind of mindset and like play with the rules that way. But like what I am in the mindset of like, I don't think we're going to see many punters like standard punters we've seen in the past where they're like Rigoberto Sanchez, great punter. I don't think he could do too much else on the team.
Yeah.
Right. I think we're going to probably see like athletes who
Like Pat McAfee's,
even him like he would hit people hard. But like
I mean, he recovered his own like kick for.
yeah. I seen that in a high school game.
Yeah, that was nuts.
But like that's who I want. Like is somebody who could not even do a full long snap, but somebody who's an athlete who would get the respect of a defense to put a safe defense in there.
Oh yeah,
who would pooch punt?
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Like in situations like that, who could? I mean, if he
Tom Brady used to do that, right?
Yeah.
He did it on a third down once, so it was crazy. It was like
a third and long or something like that.
Third and long, and there was just like 6 minutes left to go in a game that they were up 21.
Okay.
And then
Belichick just like punt it.
Yeah, he just stood there and then all of a sudden backed up 3 yards. They snapped it and he pooch punted it. and like they got down on like the 5-yard line. I'm like it was like a genius move, right? Because like there's not much time left in the game, and so like giving up a big return or like throwing an interception was worse than just like letting them have the ball in the 5.
Yeah.
Like we don't need points to win this game. We just need this game to get over with.
Belichick's chessman like ability. Yeah, I think like stuff like that is like gonna be the new meta for the NFL, or should be in my opinion. Like where you have somebody, especially with the new kickoff, like. I want somebody who's running like a sub 4.4,
right?
Kicking the ball off.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs, like they had their like safety guy that was like supposed to be like the
potential kickoff guy.
Yeah, which like I mean I don't know why they're not leading into it, but then there's also moments in the game where you can just put your kicker out there and be like, what we need to happen is for you to kick the ball through the end zone.
Right.
Yeah,
we won it at the 35.
Yeah, right. Like and like that'd be like a similar thing for when Brady did that pooch punt. It's just like, you know what, like we're up and all we need for that to happen is for them to have the ball like without a big return, right? And then like any standard kicker can in the NFL should be able to. They're kicking from the 35 still, or is it? Did they move? They didn't move it up to the 40, did they?
I'm not sure on that one. Yeah.
I think. Were they kicking from the 30 at some point in the NFL's history?
I don't know.
Because high school is 40 and college is 35, and I think NFL is 35. And then I want to say that there was a point in time, maybe for like a year, where like they put it back to the 30
when they're trying to figure out the kickoff.
Yeah, and then they brought it back to the 35 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I saw a nuts thing happen in a college game this weekend. It was an onside punt.
All right, I'm here for that.
Yeah, so they got safetied, and they were down by 7 with like 2 minutes to go. And so on a safety, you do a free kick from the 20, and you can either punt the ball or do a kickoff. You have your choice from a tee. And most, like in like high school and stuff, you'll see a lot of teams just kick it off because it's easier. But better teams like college and NFL will do the punt because you can get more hang time on the punt and get your coverage team down there. Well, you can also onside kick in that situation because it's the same rules. It just has to go 10 yards. Mm-hmm. And so this guy did an onside punt, and he just like it was just like an onside kick, but he just started with the ball in his hands. And the rule, it has to touch the ground, just like any other one. It has to touch the ground before. I guess it doesn't have to touch the ground, but like if you kick it up in the air, they can call a fair catch, and then you won't get it. But so he just dropped the ball and then did a drop kick off the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, instead of kicking it off a tee, which was.
So, but then if it
That was the Oklahoma game this weekend.
As soon as it's a drop kick, it's like it's off the tee, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Right, but you didn't have to line it up on a tee.
Did they recover it?
No. It would have been a lot cooler if they did recover it. But
you probably can't just drop kick off of a kickoff, right?
no, you can't do that on a kickoff. You have to tee it up.
You can still drop kick extra point.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
What was the old Patriots quarterback that did that?
Yeah.
I forget his name.
I don't know, Bledsoe or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this is a good place to wrap things up. We started off tying in why it's good to be passionate about football at the beginning. For those of you who made it to the end of the conversation, you got to witness me and Mitch talk passionately about football for a good while. And let us hear in the comments below what you're passionate about. If you're a football fan, which I'm assuming you are if you've listened this far, tell us what you're passionate about football. And always feel free to reach out to me at nick@crafterformore.com with any questions or thoughts you have about the show, and we'd love to hear your suggestions and continue to grow this podcast.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. God bless.
Thanks for listening to the Hey Brother podcast. If this episode has been a blessing for you, help us grow by sharing it with a brother who needs it. Visit crafterformore.com for more resources in growing a brotherhood, pursuing chastity, and overcoming addiction. Don't settle for less. Hit subscribe, and let's become the men God has created us to be.